Unmuting. All right, let's get this going.
Wait, I didn't start this yet.
Oh. You got like 2 minutes of song. Oh, we should put a title on.
Get in the frame.
It's so hard to see. Get your corn out. Make it rain. Make it rain.
Oh yeah, we
Make it rain, girl. That harvest rain.
Oh, you just put them on like we've just been
Well,
fighting.
they stick to you.
Kind of.
Just make a pile of these. And we're gonna have to rake the loft after this. The song kind of just goes like
Hey,
this.
bro, we're having a leaf
like this.
fight.
We're like,
This is the most boring song ever.
I like this version of it. It's catchy. Catchy Neilio.
Get your head in the Instagram.
It's gonna fade out now. Hello?
Oh my gosh. Hello. Oh my gosh, I wish we could go to strip clubs so then we could make it rain
Just throw
leaves.
leaves on them. I think we would get kicked out very.
No,
very
we would
quickly.
throw money too.
The money.
And then like a leaf every now and then. Happy
Yeah.
fall.
Happy autumn.
Oh my gosh, this one is like
Well,
sticking in my hair so much.
Ted Cruz has some nonsensical post about he was like trying to take this from us, and it was like Thanksgiving, and it was like no one's even trying to take that from you.
We're in the park.
We're in the park.
Wait,
Yeah.
yep.
Central Park is lovely this
Yeah,
time of year
it is.
with the
It's
foliage.
empty.
So
It's
yeah,
still light out, remarkably.
I'm well, we have these nice canopy lights behind us, so
Mhm.
that's why it's so bright here.
We're
Our little grotto in the park.
We're in an esplanade. Oh yeah, we've got our pumpkin.
We got our pumpkin.
What's our pumpkin's name?
Oh man,
Stop.
I'm trying to get the leaves out. from
Doesn't
back
matter.
here.
Doesn't matter. You mean from the grass?
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
these unraked leaves are gonna drive me crazy.
We have our pumpkin.
Uh,
What's our pumpkin?
Igor.
Stay in the Instagram frame, please.
Oh,
Please.
it's so
It's
small
tight.
today. a
It's tight because
frame.
it's fall and it's time to like nestle up next to each other.
Okay. Cuffing season is what they call it.
What?
They call it cuffing season.
That sounds
Yeah.
sexual. I
Yeah,
like it.
that's like you gotta get handcuffed. You get like a partner. For like
Yeah.
the cold
So
weather.
we did like a Halloween episode of Question Block. We did like a whole month of Halloween, but we just didn't feel like we ever addressed fall.
We didn't. Let's get to the elephant in the room. Fall.
Yep. So we're going to be discussing all the fall festivals and legends of the fall, and traditions, and also we're going to be throwing shade on the pilgrims because I mean everyone knows that they were like really bad, but they were also really stupid too, and we'll talk about the ways in which they were really stupid.
Yeah.
Um,
Pilgrims bad. Jamestown colonists were bad. Everyone.
Yeah.
Who came
So
to
we're not
America.
really like ruining Thanksgiving, but like maybe we're making you feel not so bad that you can't celebrate Thanksgiving in the way that you once did.
Well, and not only that, but there's also a whole variety of fall harvest
Yeah.
festivals for you to choose from.
Which we're gonna
Because
talk
every
about.
culture celebrates fall.
And we're gonna be
and
trying some of the
harvest.
foods of those
Of
festivals.
the other harvest festivals.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty educational question block.
Yes. And if anyone wants to go live with us, to just like tell us what their fall like traditions are, what their family does or whatever, just ask. We'll say yes. But also if we're getting anything wrong about your particular like culture,
Yeah.
holla.
Please
Educate us. We did our research, but, you know, Wikipedia can only take you so far.
Yeah. I mean, you get what you pay for.
Yeah. So let's talk about the origins of fall.
So the origins of fall?
Yeah.
Or like the astronomy of like the planet's tilting orbit.
No,
and
that's
why we have
boring.
seasons. What did you want to learn? What
Like,
aspect of fall do you want to talk about? Just
the Greek aspect.
Oh, just having right. So the Greeks have their own story, right, for like why the seasons change.
Yes.
Um,
Let's tell that story.
Go for it.
Okay. So it starts with this girl named Persephone and her mom Demeter and this guy Hades.
Okay.
And they were all gods and goddesses.
What are they? Can you tell me what they were the gods of?
Yeah, Hades is he's the god of the underworld.
Yeah.
But like the underworld is not really hell. It's just like a waiting room.
It's just where you go when you die.
It's like a goth waiting room, and
he's Zeus and Poseidon's brother.
Yeah,
a major god.
He's like the cool.
Chill.
He's like the cool uncle god. You know, like
Yeah.
the other guys. They're like a little more like white collar.
I mean, Poseidon's he's an Aquaman, bro. He's cool.
Yeah,
I
mean they're all cool, but they're like, you know, he's like the black sheep of the family.
So it's Demeter. I always pronounce it Demeter, which is
sure.
incorrect.
We can say Demeter more.
Yeah.
Was she the goddess? She is the goddess of like the harvest and like the harvest and also the crops, the animals.
She's just like Earth, right? She's like nature or growth or whatever.
Not really. She's more. I mean, kind of, sort of.
Okay.
But also, Persephone was more like new growth. Like just think of it as like, you know, the mother-daughter really like in terms of age of like the crops. So like, Persephone's like new growth and like flowers in the springtime, and Demeter's more like a little bit more harvesty, summery in terms of like where your crops are at.
She's like olive trees.
Yes.
Fruits. So.
Oh yeah, I was like, yeah, sure.
I'm just saying. Yeah, the Greeks didn't have like oak trees or anything, like these fantastic leaves that we have.
Maple.
Yeah. So yeah, what happened then?
So Hades was like, yo, he's like, I kind of have like a crush on Persephone, and he like asked Zeus, and he was like, yo, could you like, do you give me permission to like, you know, do my thing? And Zeus was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So one day Persephone was in a field, and she saw a narcissus flower, and she like never seen that before, which is weird. She's like the goddess of flowers, so she was like, oh my god. Oh my Zeus.
This is a cool flower that I made.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was like, damn, I'm awesome.
Okay.
And she like went to go like investigate or whatever. And and she was like walking with her nymph. She had like a bunch of nymph like maidens that just like followed her everywhere. She went to go like investigate this narcissus, and that's when Hades, like the earth opened up, and the craziest like, what was it, the craziest trouble in bass party ever happened, and there were like chariots, and Hades kind of like took her down, and all her nymph friends were like super freaked out, and one of them cried so much that she actually cried a river, and there's like a river named after her.
Yeah. So accounts differ as to whether Hades just like picked her. There's like sculptures where Hades just like picks her up and carries her off, but then there's other sculptures where Hades like spits some game and is like, I'm the god of the underworld, and he's like very seductive and bad boy. And
Jules, she loved to vape, so she was like, let's
the
go.
God of Jules.
No, he's like because he's like in the earth, right? And like that's where like gemstones came from. So he also had like every jewel, like, and yeah, he was like, you want a crazy ass wedding ring? I got you, boo.
He's a bad boy. So he might have seduced her. It's unclear.
Well, I think once she was down there, for sure, most accounts agree that like she wanted to be.
She's
She was like, "Oh, this shit is awesome."
I like hanging out in the underworld.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool here. It's
pretty
like
cool.
a cool like goth nightclub. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and she was into like the bad boy vibe that Hades was like putting out there, and
But then her mom was pissed.
she was pissed, and she was like, "I'm gonna fucking kill like everything on Earth.
I'm not gonna do my job.
Yeah,
until I
I'm not
find
doing my
daughter.
job, or like I'm gonna fuck with the weather, so it's like too hot, too cold. Like she was like global warming, you know."
So all the Greeks were like, "Oh fuck."
They were like, "Oh my god, oh my Zeus, you have to do something."
And she went to Zeus, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I said that Hades could like take her on a date, or kidnap her forever, whatever." Sorry.
And I think in Hades was like, he knew that they were gonna. Oh, so Hermes and the messenger.
Mm-hmm.
They were like.
Hermes Express. Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, go tell
her
her she has to come. Go tell Persephone she has to come back.
Yeah.
And
Jake State Farm joined.
Oh
Okay.
hey, we're talking about farms and stuff. So
yeah, you might need crop insurance.
Yeah.
So did she come back? What happened?
So she was like, dude, I don't want to leave. And Hades was like, okay, so if you eat, well, because they're gods, right, and goddesses, and they don't have to eat. They don't need food. So if you eat something, if they ate something somewhere, that would mean they like accepted it. Mm-hmm. So Hades was like, yeah, have some of this pomegranate, and
So this part too open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Because I've read it both as like Hades like tricked her into eating the pomegranate seeds, but I've also heard it as she snuck some pomegranate seeds and purposely ate them so that she would have to stay.
I'm just thinking of how he would trick her into eating pomegranate seed. Like, my mind's always in the gutter. I'm like, does anyone know what grapefruiting is?
No.
Yeah.
This is a family. This is a family live stream, so.
Pomegranate. Pomegranate.
So anyway, she ate the food, so they're like, whoops, guess you can't go back. A compromise must be reached.
Yep.
And so that's why we have spring and fall and winter and summer.
Yeah, because because they used to just always be like nice all the time, and then when Persephone would like have to go back to the underworld, or get to go back to the underworld, Demeter would still be like, she's like, fine, I'm gonna just kill the earth at this time. So
split custody between your mom and your husband.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's also weird though because Hades is like her uncle because all of the gods came from Zeus, right? Like all the gods.
Yeah,
and
Persephone
goddesses.
was also Zeus's daughter.
Or like
right?
her granddaughter or something. His
daughters, but I don't know how Demeter came about. Some of the gods sprang from Zeus's head. They weren't even necessarily like born.
He cut them out of like this terrible creature was like eating. I think it was eating all the gods.
The Titan.
It was eating them.
Yeah.
And then Zeus like tricked it, and it didn't eat him. And then he like cut open. He escaped. He freed all the gods.
Some of the gods are also his kids, though.
So yeah,
it's complicated. There's a lot of incest, though. Yeah.
But that was okay at the time. So you can think of him like an uncle by marriage instead of blood. They don't have blood anyway. So
yeah, it's like a modern porn or whatever. It's like he's your step uncle.
Oh yeah. He's my real uncle from our mom.
Isn't it weird? It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm your step uncle.
Persephone's like, don't come over here. It would be bad. Don't give me the pomegranate.
You're my dad's
friend.
That's how Greek myths work. So they're known as the Eleusinian Mysteries. The mystery here just referring to like mystical. And so was it like the Athenians? What did they write on? It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
I think it was the Athenians like would put on these plays every year around harvest time. Even that's up for debate because in like the Mediterranean climate, they don't necessarily have like a harsh winter. Instead, summer can be like a source, like can cause drought, and summer's actually like a real bitch, I guess. You can kill off your olive trees, so they don't get a harvest. The hummus, the chickpeas, the garbanzo beans.
Oh
There's
no.
a drought, a shortage of garbanzo beans.
The dates.
The feta plants.
The feta. Yeah.
Mm. So anyway, that's how the Greeks have seasons.
Yeah. But also, it's like, I think it's a cool story. It's like such a story of this time. Like, I feel like it's like the Twilight. You know how the TikTok aged community, like us, we're super into Twilight.
How does this relate to?
I feel like Persephone and Hades is like the Twilight of today.
Mm.
Like, I guess vampires were like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, instead it was just the king of the underworld. So sure.
Yeah, because it's like Persephone's like a really good, cute girl, and then she gets this like hot goth like husband who gives her like a giant ring with all the gemstones of the earth.
To be fair though, she at least is like already the goddess of like flowers and is like a nymph, so she's like already pretty cool.
But then she also becomes the goddess of metal, which is so dope.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
she has a bad boy boyfriend, and then becomes the goddess of metal.
And like flowers, like she's like my spirit animal for today. Yeah, so that's the story of fall. That's the story of fall.
It's the story of fall for the Greeks.
Oh yeah, why do leaves change color in the fall?
Well, I'm glad you asked. There's actually two kinds of trees, right?
Should we put this crown on you while you tell us?
Yeah. So the leaves that that change colors are deciduous. This is very tiny.
Okay, wait. I'll put a bigger one on you.
For my large brain, I can't put it on my giant brain that's full
of
plant facts.
Wait, this one's bigger.
Please stop interrupting. I'm trying to tell you about trees.
Okay, start telling.
What's up, Justin? We're talking about explaining why leaves change colors.
Yeah, we just told the story of Persephone and Hades. I feel like Justin
has a very Hades vibe to him.
Yeah, okay. Here we go. So we're gonna do
cigarette smoking underworld god. It's okay.
Loves
he
jewels.
can watch it back. Yeah, he does love shit. Yeah. So there's two kinds of trees. There's
two?
like
only two.
You can divide all trees into two categories. There's deciduous trees, as we know, that have leaves, and there's coniferous trees that like their fruit is cones. Almost all coniferous trees also have needles instead of leaves. They have pine needles, whereas deciduous trees all have leaves. So the reason the leaves change color is because when it gets cold out and there's like less sunlight, the trees need to conserve energy and they need to prepare for the winter. So pine trees do a lot of this too, but deciduous trees do a bunch of very cool stuff to winterproof themselves. Because a tree, like, if it freezes, like, it's very bad. If anything freezes, ice crystals will break your cell walls, they'll kill you. So trees have to not freeze. So you're like, how do they not freeze if they're not warm-blooded? Good question. So the deciduous trees, first thing they do is the chlorophyll, they stop producing chlorophyll and doing photosynthesis to create energy. They saved up a bunch of sugars. Yeah, so the chlorophyll in the leaves breaks down, and that's why you see the yellow and red that color is already in the leaves. These are just what leaves look like with no chlorophyll. So the chlorophyll breaks down, and then the leaves fall off because the tree stops supporting them because leaves have a lot of surface area, right? They're hard to maintain, and so they would probably freeze through anyway, and the tree doesn't do photosynthesis. And leaves also are like a major source of trees. Like it's not respiration, but they do transpiration, where they exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide with the air through their leaves, and they don't want to do that either because they'll lose water. And so the tree can't get water from the soil anymore once the ground freezes. So the tree has to basically like winterproof itself and be ready to last, 4 months or whatever without pulling water into its roots. So it drops its leaves. The trees do two other very cool things that trees do interior so they don't freeze is they thicken their sap, which is like the blood of the tree. That's how a tree moves.
Oh my God, Lily's here! Lily, we're talking about trees. You tuned in at the exact
what they do in the winter. So we talked about why they lose their leaves and their leaves change colors. So the other very cool things trees do, this great adaptation, is the tree is able to pull water out of its cells to intercellular spaces, which thickens up its sap. The sap is what carries like water up the tree and like sugar and nutrients from the leaves down into the tree.
It's like a straw.
So by removing the water content from its sap, the tree actually makes it so the sap can't freeze. It gets so thick that it won't freeze.
Oh, that's why you can tap you can tap maple trees in the winter, right?
Well, maple trees typically actually get tapped in the spring when the sap has gotten because in the winter the sap is too thick to actually get. In the spring it gets the tree comes back to life and it puts water back into the sap. And then the other very cool thing is trees actually produce antifreeze proteins themselves.
What?
They create proteins that are antifreeze that will keep their cells from freezing, which is very cool, and in many ways more advanced than mammals like us, right? We just burn a lot of sugar to keep ourselves warm so we don't freeze, which kind of works as long as you're indoors.
Yeah, it does not for me.
It doesn't work very well for you at all. Whereas trees are creating their own antifreeze and thickening their blood so it can't freeze. So yeah, pretty sweet.
Now you can never take it off your head, the crown.
Yeah, so it's just a bunch of
it's a bunch of leaves.
Dead
Leaves. They're like, leave us alone.
Yes.
Thank you for that science segment.
You're welcome. Yeah, so I don't know, I guess that's the deciduous trees. The coniferous trees, since they mostly have needles, pine needles they have a waxy exterior, which is called the cuticle, much like your nails, actually. So the waxy cuticle, that protects them from losing too much water, and the actual shape of the pine needle is a lot less surface area than a leaf, so they don't lose as much water. So they keep their needles throughout the winter, and the needles are the whole shape of the thing is pretty much snowproof, so snow will slide off.
They're so smart. Trees are so smart.
Yeah, they very much are.
I wish I made my body with a waxy coating so that snow couldn't stick to me.
Well, in the actual pine needle, the interior of it, the cells in it that do the transpiration, is actually buried deeper inside the pine needle than in a deciduous leaf. So it means that they actually trap a pocket of air inside the pine. Every pine needle has a little bit of insulation in it.
That's like a heat tech.
Yeah, they create their own heat tech, basically. Trees are incredibly smart. They just think at a lot slower speed than humans do. But they've been around for billions of years, so...
Yeah.
Millions.
Yeah, it's working. It's working, guys. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Keep it up, trees.
But the trees have tried, they've tried pretty much everything. And so what you see is what's worked.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Should we talk about some other harvest?
Yeah, we can go live with some. I don't know if Justin's still around. We can talk to him. He's probably he's winterproofing his new home.
Yeah. Or Lily, if you want to go live and talk plants.
Go live with Lily and talk about plants.
Holiday traditions of your family. But
Lily might be hanging out with her family.
Ooh. We have a bunch of crops here. We have our pumpkin. What's our pumpkin's name?
Igor
the pumpkin. And we have a bunch of foods to try, but we have, my God, I'm so white. I'm sorry for being so white.
Show us.
I went to the farmer's market.
Show us your multiracial
I went
corn.
to the farmer's market today, and I wanted to get this. I wanted to get some corn, and the guy was like, you can make popcorn with that when I was getting it, and I was like, no way. So I got.
You're like, I thought it was just for decoration.
Yeah, well, because I was like, I was like, can you eat this corn? How would you do it?
That's dry.
And he told me that it's not, well, he just said it's regardless, it's less sweet and more it's harder and actually more of a it's less of a simple carb than regular corn.
This is a complicated
corn. Yeah, making the corn sound.
The ASMR portion of the show.
Okay. And so that's what it looked like. And then I put it inside this bag and I put it in the mic. Hey Dave, I was showing how I made popcorn out of this corn.
Can you magnet that? Can you keep it?
The corn?
Stick it above your head here?
I don't know.
Maybe we got pretty strong
magnets.
magnets.
I feel like it's gonna fall on my head.
Let me try it.
No.
Where's the magnet?
Let's try it. I don't know. I don't trust it. So I put it in this bag, and then I don't know if you can see, there's the corn is in there.
You just put the entire corn ear in the bag.
In the bag, and then I microwaved it for 2 minutes.
Oh, and it popped.
And it popped in the bowl, because the guy was like, just put it in a paper towel in your microwave. And just 2 minutes, and I started to do that,
Did
and
you
it
try
got
it?
everywhere. No, I saved it for everyone to watch.
Okay.
So, okay, what does it smell like? Does it smell like regular popcorn?
Yeah, it's got a great popcorn smell.
Yeah, it smells like regular popcorn. It's like I'm kind of disappointed because I thought it would be like a crazy color,
Yeah, I
but
thought
it's
it would be
actually
red.
like whiter than normal popcorn. It's like whiter. See? It's like I feel like a normal popcorn is like yellower.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're seeing if they.
All right.
Give me some corn.
Hey, look,
Hey, babe.
we made popcorn out of like this.
Yeah, I saw it. That's
Show 'em the before.
impressive.
The before and the after.
You just put it in the microwave.
Yeah, and you can get this at like the farmer's market.
It's
like,
pretty awesome because then you get a stick of popcorn.
yeah, he was like, yeah, it'll
This
just
is way better than a bag.
the farmer. I had to put it in this bag because yeah, it was getting everywhere. The farmer probably had never used a microwave before, so.
That's
Oh, I took a
straight,
video of it too.
Yeah, you can see
straight
it's
farm to table on that
You
one.
wanna? Yeah, you
It's
wanna
like the bottom
actually
of it.
wait? I
Yeah.
can
Thank you. Yeah. Can I grab it? I'm gonna grab
Yeah. give Dave some popcorn. Hang on.
it. Yeah. Nice.
Okay, I can. You could if you want to hear it popping. I have the video. I took a video of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear it popping.
So you're
I'm just making sure my
Oh,
volume.
man.
Okay. Yeah. Oh. Yep. I mean,
Yeah, it's popping.
yeah. I don't think I've learned like you can't really show a phone on a phone. So, but yeah. There it is, and you can watch the video. It's kind of anticlimactic. I thought if it looked crazy.
It's delicious. I wish it wasn't in the bag so I could just hold it and just like bite on it.
Well,
like it was
you can
normal corn.
put it here. We can take it out
Okay.
in this bag.
Dave, what's your corn eating technique? Are you more of like a? Are you like a
Yeah,
typewriter?
Ooh, this bag is like really tight. Actually, I don't know if I can get it out. We have to eat more of it.
I used to do typewriter, and at some point I switched to like columns, like combination lock columns.
Yeah, because you can do the
Oh.
whole corn.
Yeah,
You spiral.
it's easy. It's better. I like it better that way. It's easier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's so funny though. It is like really.
I don't think since I've been an adult and lived on my own, I have never once made corn for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only done it once in a blue moon. I'm trying to do it more actually. I just got some.
Oh really?
Yeah,
From the farmer's market or?
it's super easy.
You
So
you steam
there's
it?
no reason I haven't.
You
know,
micro.
except that.
Well, I think we know what happens if you microwave
Well, how
it.
do you? Yeah, how do you cook the corn that you've got? The corn on the cob.
I just throw it in a pan.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, this is like
Can you roast it?
stuck.
Just heat. Yeah, you're just heating it up.
Okay. That's good to go.
You could roast it, but like
That's
if
so
you
cool though.
if you keep it in the pan, sure.
All right.
Yeah. I actually have to call. How late are you guys going tonight?
Till 10. Yeah.
Till 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll pop in later. Hopefully.
Pop. Get it? You'll pop in.
Pop in.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom. Okay, wait. It's coming out of the bag right now. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
All right, carry on.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I'll be right
Have a
back.
good-
Thanks for
Have a
popping
good business
in.
call.
You want to remove him? My hand is in a bag of corn, and
He
I'm
left
about to.
himself. Are you
Oh, he
okay
left.
down there?
Yeah, I'm about to free the corn. Ugh. Oh my
it's
gosh.
really stuck on that bag, huh?
Yeah.
You guys, there's just popcorn all over
There's
the floor.
no. That's why I brought
Oh, man.
many bags.
There's
Many.
we got leaves, we got corn down here. It's a real.
It's a real. It's
we got
a
some
real.
yard. We got some yard. I'm gonna have to get the leaf
Okay.
blower out here.
This is gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it because
Oh, show them.
look,
That
it's
is-
like
that
corn
is
on the
pretty
cob.
rad.
It's popcorn on the
It's popcorn
cob.
on the cob. Wow.
Wow.
It looks delicious though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you can try.
You have to
some
like
over.
shuck the popcorn.
Yeah, just do it over the bag though, please.
Okay.
All right, I'll hold the bag open for you. Their new Thanksgiving tradition. You're gonna need to floss tonight.
Where go?
Look, that's where he ate it from.
Amazing.
It smells like really good too. It smells like movie theater popcorn.
Yeah, it's up there with some good popcorn.
That was really pleasant. Well,
Yeah,
maybe it's the propane.
All right.
Well,
Is Lily still around? I don't know if she wanted to go live or not.
oh hey Barrett, what's up? Oh my gosh, Barrett.
Oh, Barrett.
Okay, look, I made popped corn on the cob out of this corn.
Yeah.
Oh God, okay. So
What does your family typically do for Thanksgiving?
my
You guys
family
do
doesn't
celebrate
celebrate Thanksgiving
ever.
because, well, yeah, they really don't. Because when I was a kid, they really, really didn't. Because my dad was just like, yeah, it's a genocide holiday, and like we don't celebrate genocide in this family. I think my mom's side of the family was just like, like they were like, we have Passover and like other things really close by. We don't need, towards like the end of my grandmother's life, we started to do like some Thanksgiving-ish stuff with her, like soft Thanksgiving, like just. I mean, and she wasn't like sick or anything. We just like
eating some turkey sandwiches and just hanging out.
we would pick our secret Santa. It was like a reason for us to like pick our secret Santa, like secret Santas. But I remember there was one year that my dad took me to a graveyard for Thanksgiving, so that was really fun. And we did like rubbings of all the like tombstones and whatnot.
Okay. That's interesting.
But I remember saying that in preschool. They were like, "What does your family do?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, we don't celebrate because genocide." And they dragged me out. They were like, "Don't tell that to the other children." And then that preschool, we did like a Thanksgiving in the school, and I walked into the bathroom, and my teacher was washing the turkey in the sink. Like the naked turkey, because we had like a oven at the school or something, and I was
you turkey, like a full turkey at your school.
Yeah. Like one of the teachers was like wash. It was like preschool.
Yeah. If you don't have a kitchen, you shouldn't be preparing a meal
Or something. I don't know. I have like an image of walking into seeing like a turkey.
Get out of here.
I was like
washing a turkey.
Yeah, so my family doesn't really like do stuff.
So Thanksgiving's unique. I guess to argue against your dad or whatever, though, right? Is a unique thing about Thanksgiving. One thing. I mean, I know that like the first Thanksgiving story is all bullshit.
Which we'll tell a little bit about.
The Pilgrims were terrible.
We'll ruin it a little bit because I know that's.
But I do want to say a little is that Thanksgiving is a secular holiday and has been since even in like 1630. The governor
Mom!
declared Thanksgiving.
You're like in Bali right now.
Oh wow! Anne's calling in from the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Anne probably had a delicious like lobster or fish.
Which was oysters were like one of the
it might already be Thanksgiving where she is.
If there was a Thanksgiving ever, they think that it might have been like just oysters and stuff because like those people do not know they didn't know how to get any food.
I read that the natives, particularly Squanto, is the diminutive name. His real name is like Timo Squanto or something. Tisquanto. He taught them how to fish for eels. Apparently, there were lots of eels.
Unagi.
And they did, unagi, and then they did go hunting for there were tons of wildlife, and the natives actually knew how to hunt deer.
So my dad is it's funny we're seeing my dad outside on Friday, but tomorrow he's hunting all day. He's trying to hunt. He makes his own bow and arrows though, so he probably won't catch anything. But fingers crossed.
I hope he doesn't catch anything. He wouldn't know what to do with it if he did.
No, he does. No, he would. But I mean, it's just because it's incredibly hard. It's if anyone deserves to catch, it's fair game if you're hunting with bows and arrows that you freaking made yourself. He stretched the bows and everything. He made everything. Stretched the bows.
I guess you still hang out in a tree stand drinking Coors Light or whatever for 12 hours, and then the deer wanders by and you just shoot it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still it's difficult. It's difficult, and he gets like props for figuring out how to and his like figuring out how to make his stuff and like what do you call it, like whittling his own arrows and stuff. Like I think that's pretty impressive.
How does he even make his how does he make his arrows out of?
Different like rocks and like things that he finds around.
So he's not even like using Bronze Age technology from
right
from like 4,000 years ago. Humans figured out how to make arrows out of metal.
Yeah.
And he's going pre that. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah.
So he's like a Paleolithic hunter.
Yep.
He's one step ahead of just trying to sneak up and club the deer with like a rock.
Very, very quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, that does sound very tough.
So,
right.
yeah, good luck to him tomorrow.
Man, I wouldn't even. I feel like you use like a piece of actual wood for a bow. You're just asking for it to like shatter in your hands.
No, he like conditions it or whatever, and you have to like slowly stretch them, which is why the Bowflex is called a Bowflex, like that exercise machine. It really is.
Marketing.
No, but it like for real. Oh, thanks, you.
Anne.
Thanks, Anne. You can watch it in post.
Yeah, and this is going on the YouTube and the Facebook.
Yeah,
so
and we'll save you some popped corn on the cob. Okay, I'm so proud. I cooked.
It was great. You invented it. That's a food I've never had before. It's pretty good.
Yay! I have more foods that you've never had, but I didn't make them. All right. But yeah. So I tried to like stretch one of his bows one time, and it's really hard. Like you really need to put your back into it to like really like you need to like squeeze. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And my dad, he's like, yeah, I do it like 10 times on this arm, 10 times on this arm. Like,
oh, so he's training for that.
Mm-hmm. But that like slowly conditions the wood so it doesn't snap.
Okay.
So yeah. But what does your family do?
We do like like since I was a little kid, we did do a big like family meal and invite like friends or anybody like as we got older, we would like people would bring like friends from college or whatever or other people, and so like we've always had like a strong Thanksgiving, and there's like like I have 3 siblings, and I have my 2 parents, and then my parents are divorced, but we'd go to one or the other's house. And then get like various cousins who were like maybe like live nearby or whatever. So or my sister-in-law's my sister hosted it for like several years in Richmond, and her in-laws would all come. So like we usually got a roster of like 12 people at our Thanksgiving. We go pretty hard, and everybody wants to make stuff, and so there's always like logistics for the oven. Like you got to time who gets to use the oven when, because the turkey has to go in, and like I do really great Brussels sprouts. My famous Brussels sprouts. Yeah, I'm gonna make Brussels sprouts for you tomorrow.
Aw, that's so sweet.
I do some phenomenal roasted Brussels sprouts is what I always do. And then for about a decade, my younger brother and I got put in charge of making the salad. And we both like took it as an affront that we got something as trivial as like the salad. So we made the best salads. So Evan and I would look up like rated high difficulty level salads on like recipe websites and stuff, and so we're like candying pecans ourselves and like making like our own like raspberry vinaigrette.
How do you make Brussels sprouts?
The Brussels sprout, I'll tell you, this is actually like a phenomenal easy recipe, but it does take a long time. So you get a I don't know, a couple pounds of Brussels sprouts,
depending on how many people
figure it's about if people really like Brussels sprouts, which they probably will, figure about a quarter pound per person. So anyway, you just take all your Brussels sprouts, you just rinse them off, pat them dry, and then either in the bag they came in or in a container, toss them with like a 1 tablespoon of olive oil per pound of sprouts, and then put a ton of salt, pepper, and garlic powder on them, and get them all coated up, and then just put them on a baking sheet on top of tin foil because you're going to get burn marks. And then you just put them in the oven at 400 degrees.
And then you wait.
And then you wait for like an hour. The recipe says like 40 minutes. This is like browning onions or whatever, or like sauteing onions. It's like an hour. So every 5 minutes you gotta shake the pan so the Brussels sprouts don't burn. That's the key. And they come out and they're phenomenal. And like Yeah, you don't have to saute them with bacon or all the stuff that people do when they cheat when they make Brussels
They
sprouts.
cheat? Why do they cheat? I love bacon.
Well, they make the Brussels sprouts taste like something else to like make a good side dish, right?
Okay.
But it's like they're maple bacon sprouts, and it's like okay, this could be like whatever. I mean, right? This could be like maple bacon tofu, and it would taste the same. But to make a really great Brussels sprout,
I
if
actually
you
would like to
you
try
embrace it, it would probably be pretty good actually. But yeah, you don't need to do anything fancy. Just
tofu with
roasting
a little
roasting
bit,
in olive
just a
oil.
little bit of bacon.
Yeah, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and olive oil. And they get nice and crispy on the outside, and they steam themselves.
Okay,
So they're
we've
soft
spent,
inside. We spent 10 minutes on
talking about Brussels. No.
I did list one of the topics on Twitch is eating. I should have done
oh.
cooking.
Well, we had our yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Richard,
you told
yeah.
me, you shared your recipe.
Popped corn. Well, this is popped corn on the cob.
You just take a bread corn and put it in the microwave for 2 minutes.
In a bag of some. Yeah, I put it in this bag. Otherwise, it'll get all over.
Yeah, you can put it in like a paper bag or whatever.
Make sure that bag is closed.
Oh yeah, because they start popping off.
Yeah, I experienced it. Like, yeah, because the dude was like, just wrap it. It'll be fine. It was. I was like, oh, okay, change of plans. He set me up to fail. That farmer.
Yeah. So you've never, other than in preschool, like you've never eaten like a whole turkey. You've had a big turkey, a 20-pounder, like carved for you.
I mean, at your Thanksgivings, yes, but yeah, that was like my first Thanksgiving, I guess.
You should tell the story of we went to Russian Thanksgiving. Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah. Wait, can we ruin Thanksgiving a little bit and then tell Happy Thanksgiving?
All right. Why don't you tell us about the pilgrims?
Okay. So, in this was like the early 1600s. Okay, there were these people called the Puritans, in England, and what they believed was that if it wasn't written in the scripture, then it like didn't no, basically.
Textualists.
Yeah. So they didn't like kneeling to pray. They didn't like stained glass windows. They didn't like any of like the beautiful things about like, ceremonial things. They were just like, oh my gosh, Mary, hey, we're ruining Thanksgiving a little bit right now, and then we're gonna talk about other holiday festivals and then maybe our own traditions.
Can I say as an aside, it's funny because all the Christian offshoot groups hated each other at the time. So there are already like the Lutherans following Martin Luther, who believe almost the same and had all the same critiques of the church as the Calvinists, and the Pilgrims were a branch of Calvinism.
They were like radical though. They were super annoying.
Yeah, what is it? The Lutherans wanted to reform the Anglican Church.
But like the Puritans,
the Calvinists, the Puritans.
The Puritans would have been like.
The Puritans wanted to reform the church. The Pilgrims wanted their own church and didn't want to even be part of the church.
The Puritans and the Pilgrims were the same. They were like
no, they're different.
Oh yes, okay, so yeah.
Anyway,
right, but
you read about the differences between these groups, and they're just minuscule, like almost incomprehensible.
I feel like the Pilgrims would have, or Puritans would have been like the Lutherans. They would have been like, you didn't nail enough shit to the church door. Like it should have been 1,000.
There's hundreds of arguments about the presence of
semantics
Christ in like
semantics. They were like super annoying, and the British people were like, okay, y'all need to like get the fuck out of here. And they were like, okay, we're going to go somewhere. And they went to, like, Amsterdam, basically.
Leiden. The city of Leiden.
They went to Leidenhosen. And those people let them, like, practice. They were, like, smoking weed and stuff. And they were, like, going into the Anne Frank Museum. And they were like, you guys can do it. And, like, tulips, And they were like, you can do whatever you want. We're super cool and, like, laid back. And the Puritans were like, okay, you guys need to like do it with us. Like you need to get like more uptight. And yeah, the like Leidens were like, we're mad laid back. No.
There's like 100 some like pilgrims, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like not that many.
And they keep dwindling because I think on that voyage, like one of them died or something. And then,
well, they lived in the Netherlands for like 13 years. It's like 1607 to 1620. ish, 1619 or so.
Uh,
They weren't there for a while.
No, to 1617. Well, at
Yeah.
1617, in 1617,
Mhm.
they there were these people called the Merchant Adventurers, which is such a dope freaking name, and like
It's a good name for a band.
yeah, like the Merchant Adventurers, like
I mean, venture capitalist sounds like a cool name, but merchant adventurer sounds even cooler.
it's so dope. Like I
Mhm.
freaking love it. So they were like the sort of angel investors, like the startup bros, and
Oh.
they were like, we will sponsor you to go. We will like join your we will be patrons and on like your Patreon or whatever to go to like some other place that is less uptight than England, but like more uptight than Holland. If there's like some profit in it for us, and you're not just gonna go there and like just pray. Like we need to know that like you can.
Well, a
Yeah.
problem that the pilgrims had too, which happens to a lot of like evangelists or whatever, is that all like the young pilgrims or whatever were like becoming more like the people in Leyden.
They were like
For,
smoking
the Netherlands.
weed and clogs.
Yeah,
and
they were
stuff.
like, wait, it's like pretty cool. We could just like join their church, like.
Yeah, or not, or whatever.
I
You
think
know,
they
ride
were-
bikes.
Yeah, the
I'm just
Dutch,
thinking
the
of all
Dutch
the
were
Dutch
like Protestants too, but they were like cool about it. Yeah, and they
Jump rope, get it?
Yeah, they're becoming more
Get it?
Dutch.
Double Dutch?
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So they were like, we're
They're like,
being
we gotta
like,
get
yeah,
out of
they're
here.
like,
We
yeah,
gotta get out of here
they're
before our
corrupting
kids.
us. Yeah.
So they, oh God, okay, I know I was supposed to look up names and I forget this dude's name.
John Smith.
No, the shoe dude. All right, we'll just call him Marvin.
The governor.
We'll call him Marvin.
The guy who became governor was like Bradford.
It wasn't Bradford. It was maybe it was Brad. We'll call him Bradford. All right.
Mm.
So there's this guy Bradford, and he was like less religious, and he was also He was like the go between.
He was the rep.
Like the merchant adventurers were like, we'll send Bradford on the boat to make sure there's money coming
Make
back.
sure there's some trading going on. You're not just being religious because we don't care.
And Homeboy did not know how to build a ship. He was like, cool, I'll like take care of the provisions and stuff. His first ship like immediately they put it on the water and it just like sank.
Well, you like rented a ship back then, the same way you'd like buy a building
Yeah, it was
now,
bad. It was
right?
not- it was
Yeah,
not good.
so
It was not
they
good. So
like,
it sank.
rented a ship and
Like immediately, like it was just like
it was not a seaworthy vessel.
no, it was bad.
So they got a new ship.
So they got
called
a
the Mayflower.
new ship, and like a lot of people had backed out at this time because they were like, "Yo, this is like bad sketch." I don't, But the ones who were still on board, they like shoved them. They were afraid they were gonna like get cold
On
feet
board
or
the
whatever.
ship.
They like shoved him on the boat.
They shoved them aboard.
Yeah, so the boat was like pretty crowded, even though from the original 100 there were maybe like 50 or 60.
No, 100 of them went
Really?
on the
100?
boat.
Okay.
They crammed 100 people on this like. It's not a big boat.
No.
It's like, yeah, you can see like pictures of it. It's like maybe would be the equivalent of like a 4-bedroom house. It's like
Yeah,
it's not a
and
big
it
ship.
was really rough. It was a rough voyage. Oh, and Bradford, he brought like 120 drunk history.
More
Well,
or less.
yeah.
Ariel read a lot about these books.
I'm not drunk. I'm just drinking out of a skull mug some like ginger soda.
Yeah. Wait, are you done ruining Thanksgiving or?
No, what was that? I'm almost done.
Okay.
So Bradford, yeah, he brought like 127 pairs of shoes. That was it. And Jamestown had like already happened, and that did not go well. And like there were like guides on what to pack, but this dude didn't read them. He just packed mad shoes. So yeah, the voyage.
Food?
Yeah,
Like
I mean, they might have
clothes?
eaten,
Like-
honestly, like, they might have pulled a Charlie Chaplin and, like, eaten some of these shoes later on.
Well, Jamestown resorted to cannibalism.
Yeah.
Jamestown was only 10 years earlier. It was 1609 it was established, and they did during some of the winters resort to cannibalism.
So this didn't, oh, right, yeah. So they finally, so from 1617 to 1619, they were trying to figure out how to, like, stop their boats from sinking, and then they finally took off, and it was way too freaking late. Like, it was, like, Christmas already. So it was, like, a very bad time to be
Late
traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they finally, like, oh, and they were trying to go to Pennsylvania, I think. Or no, they were trying to go to Virginia, but they ended up in Pennsylvania.
Massachusetts.
Or Massachusetts, right.
At
Okay.
Plymouth
Rock, right. So they were trying to go, see, I don't even,
The Calvinists
I might as well.
landed in what is now Boston, but they landed in what is now Plymouth.
But they were trying to not go there. They were trying to go to, like, Pennsylvania or Virginia, and they, like, messed up. They just were like, we gotta get the hell off this ship, because mad people were dying, getting scurvy.
They wanted to establish a colony that would be separate from the other colonies because they were pilgrims and assholes, and they, like, wanted their own little place, but they also needed to be able to trade with, like, the other nearby villages.
Yeah.
So they kind of worked it out. But yeah.
Sort of,
But
yeah.
they landed in, like, mid-December in, like, fucking Massachusetts, so you can figure it out.
Cold.
100 people had been on a tiny ass ship.
Well, now it was less
for like 2 months.
Mad people died, and there had been
almost everybody made it through the voyage, and then half of them died over the next, like, 3 months.
So some dude also, like, fell overboard, but yeah, like.
But all but 1 or 2 made it through the voyage.
And there's a baby. There's a baby that was born. Can you guess what its name was?
Oh, I read this. I don't know. Ocean.
Yeah, it was like Oceania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
The original E-girl.
Oh, so the buckle hat, by the way,
It's a myth,
great,
right?
Yeah, it's totally a myth. The buckle hat on the pilgrims, but there's a great Wikipedia caption, and it's like, it's like a picture of a statue of, like, a pilgrim, like, I don't know who it is, Bradford probably, whatever, but, like, holding, like, the Bible and his fucking buckle hat, and it's like, the buckle hat is a myth, like, you know, it was invented after the fact, and it said, like, such a hat has never been worn as part of serious apparel. It's just like, it's just like it's like, but maybe at a party for fun you could wear this kind of hat.
I don't understand why, like, a sensible pump didn't, you know, because of the Bradford with the shoes. But yeah, he died, like, pretty much immediately.
Who invented the buckle? Yeah, we'll have to look that up on a subsequent fashion episode.
A lot of people died when they got to the new world.
Yeah, so half of them died. Anyway, a couple years go by. They did manage to sort of establish themselves. The natives helped them a lot, including Tisquanto.
Well, because he could speak. He came up, you know, he was like, hey guys, and they were like,
he
oh shit, you can speak
to England
English.
as a slave.
Yeah, but what seemed to happen a lot when, like, natives went to England was that the queen was like, oh, they're humans with souls. Let's, like, be a little nicer to them. And so they sort of went back as, like, ambassadors instead of slaves. They were the ones that like, returned. So yeah, he was like he was kind of like an interpreter. He helped them trade a little bit.
So they did. Yeah, who was it? Someone else. There was another colony that had their own Thanksgiving feast in 1619. The Pilgrims did have a Thanksgiving in 1621, where they did have, like, I forget the name of the neighboring tribe. It starts with W and has an X in it. They did have, like, a feast together.
The Wampanoag.
Yeah.
The Wampanoag?
Wampanoag or something?
No, it's things pronounced like
like Oaxaca. Wampanoag. All right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they did have a Thanksgiving. 90 of the Native Americans came, including the chief, and had a big feast with the 50 remaining surviving pilgrims. Sometime in the like late fall, and this was already. I mean, this was about a year after the pilgrims had arrived, so they made it through, and the Native Americans had helped them out a lot and taught them fish and shared food with them.
They did, and this was like after when they first got there, and they were so freaking hungry, they were, like, digging up their shit, and, like, their corn, like, their corn was, like, sacred, and they were, like, digging up their corn.
There's records of the pilgrims digging up burial mounds that the Native Americans had created.
Yeah, so, like,
because
literally...
they would bury you with some corn for the afterlife.
Right.
And, like, taking the corn out of there and then planting it.
So, literally, our country is built on a Native American burial ground. Like,
just brutal. Those rude ass.
This is like our country is like the house in a Stephen King movie. Yeah. Like, it's just asking for for shit to go down.
But I was gonna say though, so the Thanksgiving like happened, but Thanksgiving feasts go back throughout history of like giving thanks for whatever.
Oh.
And it's believed that the Pilgrims actually stole the idea from the Dutch. So in the city of Leyden, where the Pilgrims lived for 13 years before coming to the Americas, Leyden had they had survived a siege from the Spanish 50 years before in the late 1500s. And so they had a feast of Thanksgiving every fall around that same time to give thanks for surviving the siege. So the Pilgrims probably just copied the idea from them. And also I think Calvinist denominations everywhere already had a feast for Thanksgiving. So they probably copied that from the Calvinists anyway.
Yeah. So
Thanksgiving's, they've been happening.
And the date, like, of when it is, I know that FDR, he was, like, to, like, boost the economy, he was like, yo, let's make it, like, a little bit longer, let's move a little bit so people can get started on their Christmas shopping.
Abe Lincoln declared it as the last Thursday.
Yeah.
Abe Lincoln, during the Civil War, declared Thanksgiving as a national holiday, the last Thursday of November, to give thanks for the Unions, like, doing well during the Civil War, just to make the Confederates feel bad about themselves, I guess. And then, Teddy Roosevelt moved it back a week.
He was like, yo, go shopping.
Because
Black Friday, let's do it.
To
help
that's
boost
the economy. He's like, okay, get this. We start the sales, and we start playing the Christmas music the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he was like, Dwayne Reed, they will get all their Halloween, throughout the Halloween stuff. Thanksgiving, but they have the Christmas stuff right behind it.
And what we start playing the Christmas music November 1st, and then we're...
Yeah, so that's that one.
But I did, I flew through JFK when I went to Tulum 2 weeks back.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, I flew through a book that he wrote.
I was going to say that I fly a lot of places. But they have a sign up, because I think they've had it up since November 1st, like their entire Christmas display in the terminal has been up. And so, like, it says, like, we're celebrating Christmas a little early this year because we could all use a holiday and something like that. And so I think they purposely, to like reduce stress for the travelers, put up all the Christmas decorations the first week of November.
Nice. Yeah, because I mean, you know, yeah. I feel like holiday decoration companies, they like double down, like you would think, you know, like Christmas is canceled or whatever, but they were like, oh no.
Chelsea Fire is correct. The day after Halloween is the best day to shop.
Yes.
The goth loves of your life.
As you know. Because you know what's funny? I got this. It's gonna be backwards on Instagram. This sweater says Moonchild, and it's from like a goth clothing company, and I got it right after Halloween in a sale.
Moonchild is the name of the princess.
In a never-ending story.
In a never-ending story.
Moon, say my name! Moonchild!
Yeah, you have to yell it into a storm.
Yeah. I will do what I dream! I will! I can't! I have to keep my feet on the ground! Oh, so good. Yeah.
Such a bad movie.
This is its debut, this sweater. I've been waiting.
I know. It's looking great. Rocking it. It's furry. Yeah.
It's furry. It's a little...
If anybody
cropped
out there wants to share Thanksgiving recipes or stories or whatever.
Yeah, or traditions.
Feel free to hop in.
Otherwise,
we're going to talk about more harvest festivals.
Yeah, because I don't know if Instagram kicks you off anymore.
It doesn't. We haven't gotten the warning
yet. Yeah, it might. It doesn't. I don't know.
But we did so much fall festival research.
We did. We are like ready to go with fall stuff.
This show might be over-researched these days. Now that I think about it,
I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna get another soda to drink, or more soda. Why don't you tell about? I was gonna say Italian, Russian Thanksgiving.
Oh, the story of Russian Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Well, with a mouthful of corn.
Yeah. With corn.
Second half. Okay, we'll see you in a moment, Richard.
Can you grab me a... I'm about to put a boy to bed. All right.
Well, what do you want? What do you want to drink?
If you could just grab me... There's a can of beer. in that fridge.
Okay. I'll
On
do
the
that.
top shelf. You can grab it. All right.
Wait, but all right, let's
We'll give a monologue
hold the
about,
pumpkin because his name is Igor, just like people in your story.
All right, so it's just me. Yeah, so I'll tell you about 2 years ago. I went to, actually both 3 years ago and 2 years ago, celebrating Thanksgiving. So I'm a child of separated parents, and due to various drama in the family and like something with my sister's brother-in-law's family doing some weird stuff, we didn't have the big new house and family Thanksgiving. Barry, if you want to go live, hop in. Otherwise, I'm going to tell the story about going to Russian Thanksgiving on Staten Island. Thanks. Ariel's grabbing more beverages for the second half of the show, so it's just me doing a little monologue here. So, yeah, I have a brother-in-law, Eugene Bordulkov, and he is of Ukrainian descent. So I went out to celebrate. Ariel and I both went to celebrate Thanksgiving with his family, with his mom, Irina, in Staten Island, in like the very like Belarusian Russian community of Staten Island. And Russian Thanksgiving, or I guess we call it that, but it's really Belarusian Thanksgiving, is fantastic. If you get a chance to celebrate with a really enthusiastic immigrant family on Thanksgiving, you definitely should, because they're going to make both their own like traditional foods. No, it's on the top shelf. It's in the back right. Not that one, the other one. Thank you. The immigrant family is going to make both their own like traditional like country's foods, as well as make a really great like take on American Thanksgiving. And one of my favorite things when visiting other countries too is to go to like their Taco Bells and McDonald's and just see like it's like looking at a funhouse mirror version of American culture. And it's always really funny to, I guess, just fun and educational to see other people's takes, other cultures' takes on like an American tradition. Yeah, so I went to this Belarusian Thanksgiving, and dinner was for like 9 people, and they had us around this big square table. That's perfect, thank you. This big square table that would seat like 12 or whatever, like, and just completely filled this like 8-foot by 8-foot surface with foods. There must have been 25 dishes.
Oh, hey, is that enough?
Yeah, use that up. But I will tell you about the best food that they made for this dinner.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Ooh,
what's up, guys?
You in your sound booth?
I am in my sound booth.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice sound treatment. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Nice haircut too. Always
What?
with a fresh haircut.
Yeah, I'm also growing my, well,
Mhm.
not intentionally, but I just got really, I guess lazy, and started to grow out my facial hair, so why not?
Oh yeah, 'cause Movember.
Yeah, Movember.
Yeah.
Men's Health.
I guess it's still Movember if you start the last week of November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
It looks like you're in the movie Tron.
Does
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you got your. Oh.
It's my little Pokemon behind me.
Nice.
Ooh, we love it.
Yeah, and your gamer
Nice
chair.
man.
Nice chair.
Yeah. That is a really nice chair.
Yeah.
A nice mic. Yeah. We're like,
Alright.
woo.
Barrett calling in from the future.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it
You
really
guys.
is.
I've seen a lot of cool updates online about the new space.
Yeah. It's
I
coming
want
along.
to take a peek sometime. You got to give me a tour.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll let you know the next time we're over there working. So me and Lily finished all the low voltage wiring. We have all these photos on Instagram of Lily and me on the lift, like running all the cables for all the projectors we're gonna have and all the lighting controls. And then we're meeting with the electrician next week. We're gonna pick the electrical outlets.
Ooh.
Sexy.
Important, yeah, very important decision. Ooh,
Ooh, he's popular.
he's popular, blowing up.
All good, all good.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll let you know the next time we're over there working, and you
Yeah.
can drop by.
Wait, where is it again? Remind me where it is. Also, I'm gonna pop one of these for you.
Nice. Oh, that's a dogfish head. Is that a quench? A sea quench.
Ooh,
I'm
nice.
I'm a big sour guy.
Yeah, that's a summer beer.
It is a summer beer, but you know what? Who cares?
Summer
Yeah.
in the winter. Who gives a
You
shit?
can have summer in
Who
your
gives
heart
a fuck?
always.
I'm
What
about
do
to
you
have.
got there?
I'm about to have one of these, a mud puppy porter.
Ooh, that's lovely.
I've never had one before. It's by Central Waters Brewing Company.
Take a sip. Let us know what you think.
It's a Wisconsin beer.
Oh yeah, you like when we try stuff. We have other foreign like snacks.
You should-
Is there anything you haven't tried yet?
Yeah.
Show them the
Yeah.
noodles.
The noodles? They're not noodles.
The moon cake is still thawing.
No, it's thawed. It's thawed.
Show them the moon cake.
Okay. So we
Because
have.
we're doing every fall harvest tradition
Ooh,
holiday,
wait, let me take the price off.
including
Yeah.
the Chinese have like a mid-autumn
Oh, you
festival.
don't get yellows. Jeez.
Oh,
Yelling in my ear.
sorry, man.
All right.
Chinese have mid-autumn festival. The moon
I like
festival.
came back and I'm like, oh my god.
Show 'em.
All right. So we have this, which is, I looked for like a moon cake, like a real moon cake, but like I couldn't find them because the Moon Autumn Festival was like in August.
Yeah.
So I got that one, and then I have these, which are Indian.
What are those?
What are
What are those? They
What
are. Oh wait, I'm gonna look up. I have like the name of what it.
So this is to celebrate Diwali.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And what are they made of?
Because Diwali is the Indian
It's
sort of
called
fall harvest festival.
Jalebi.
Jalebi. That's wild.
So I think it's
They
basically
look
like
like-
fried dough with like some sort of
Yeah.
orange, like colored saffron,
Oh.
like.
Yeah, they look like gummies.
But they're not. I
Okay.
had these once when I was like younger.
I'll tell you. I used to. My friend Dan and I, when we were kids, we used to hang out. We didn't smoke or drink or do drugs or anything. What we would do is, we'd go to the corner store, get gummies, go back to his house and watch a film or something. That was always our Friday night.
Nice.
Getting gummies, watching a movie. It was all about the gummies, you know.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
you could have been getting these.
gummies are great.
I love gummies. Gummy sharks. Remember those?
Yes. Alex's brother loves gummies.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're so good. Some people hate the gummy. I mean,
No, I like gummy of like the candies. I like gummies.
I'll take gummies over chocolate.
So
Yeah.
in Japan and also in Hawaii in the U.S., they have like a really like
You
deep
get a thing to,
assortment
like,
of flavored
cut
gummies.
this.
So if you go into any Hawaiian grocery store, my mom lives in Hawaii, so I know this. If you go into a Hawaiian grocery store, they'll have a whole section of an aisle that's just gummies, including like spicy gummies and like savory gummies and like garlic gummies, and they get real weird.
The what's it? I love the root beer. Oh no, they're the gummy sodas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gummy sodas are great.
Oh, I love those. A lot of people hate those. I don't know. Gummies are getting a bad rap.
They
I'm
are.
all about the gummies.
I
though.
think everybody loves them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I
I
don't
like
know.
sour. I'm a big fan of sour.
Yeah,
gummy
I like
worms.
the sour ones, sour gummies.
Here's a question for
Gummy
you.
vitamins.
We eat gummy vitamins.
I've been asking this lately a lot. Now, here's a question. Okay. You can choose to answer one of these questions. Okay. Question one. Oh, thanks, Lauren. Hip haircut surveyor. Lauren helped me find my first apartment in Bushwick.
Woo!
Nice.
Gummy worms.
Wow, we got controversy in the
Hey,
comments.
go to hell.
Yeah.
Downvote.
Downvote that.
You can choose to answer. Have you ever shoplifted, and if so, what? Or when's the last time you got slapped across the face?
Ooh.
So,
Ooh.
well, I used to I'll go first and I'll do the shoplifting. So I would constantly shoplift stickers with my friends from like the Hot Topic store and the Varsity store at the local mall when I was in high school. And we'd go in and, like, they must have known what we were doing. They had, like, a huge bin just filled with stickers. And we'd be, like, looking at the stickers, and some would just sort of disappear. And, like, that was most of the shoplifting stuff.
Well, what do you like, Don Darkin?
Yeah, Don Darkin.
Yeah, Don Darkin, would you ever shoplift?
Yeah,
Or
you probably got
you get
slapped.
Yeah, when
Probably
you get
constantly for your negative attitude.
getting slapped right now.
How about you?
Which story do you have? I have one for each. I have like many for each. So.
Go ahead.
Well, I used to shoplift all the time in American Apparel because Doug
Charney told you it was okay.
Yeah, he was like, I would rather the kids shoplift from my stores than install like security devices and be like the man. And he's like, I want people who shop like free spirits are people that I want to wear my clothes. So like I'm cool
Who
with
is
that.
this?
Dove Charney, who was the like CEO of American
The now
Apparel.
deposed
Okay, we
CEO
don't have to
of
get into
American Apparel.
Okay, it's not important.
He had sex with
Not
lots
if
of
we.
models.
I'm telling how I stole. Okay.
Okay.
Um.
All right. So you're seducing Dove Charney. And then,
So all my friends worked at American Apparel as well, and they were like, "Yeah, dude, we steal from the." They were like, "Everyone steals." So you would go in there. You would go to like the dressing room or whatever. There was always a picture of like somebody in like leggings with like hairy armpits or something. Like that was their aesthetic.
Yeah. Some nude 15-year-old.
Yeah. And so like you would take all the tags off because they didn't have like security devices, but they did. If you had a backpack full of clothes with tags on them, they'd be like, hey. So you'd stick all the tags behind these like pictures that they had in the dressing room. And when you would stick it back there would be like a million other tags. Like it was like everyone was doing this. And then because they were like leggings and like lame stuff, you just layer them on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put on a chunky knit.
You put on 6 leggings and a couple tops, and then like a chunky knit, and then put your jacket back on.
Actually, that's so funny. I'm wearing this bodysuit is American Apparel. I love their bodysuit.
Stole it?
Yes. Let's just say
Nice.
Wait. So the
I
major.
was always too afraid to shoplift. I was always too afraid of the consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when was the last time you got slapped in the face? Was it for acting?
I think by a kid at camp years ago. Just slapped me in the face. I don't know. It was unprompted. And,
A sucker slap.
yeah, it was a sucker slap.
Did it make a sound? Was it like...
Yeah! Oh, yeah! Of course it did. Yeah, sure. How about you guys?
When is the last time you got slapped?
I remember when it was. I was at a party and I was explaining to someone the phrase Jap, Jewish American princess.
Ah, that's so good.
And some other girl
Some
just
Jap?
heard me saying like the word Jap and came over and just slapped me. And I was like, what the fuck? And he was like, you can't say that shit. Like I don't know if she was like part Asian or she just was offended on behalf
Oh,
of
she was
like
thinking, okay.
she thought I was like using a derogative term for Japanese people.
I thought it was just like Fran Drescher who was like, Mr. Sheffield, you can't say
No, because I don't think I've met a Jewish American princess who doesn't think it's a funny term.
that. Okay, I was
Right?
like, who do you think I am?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you use the phrase all the time.
Yeah, of course.
So like,
Persephone.
anyway, so that's it. It was
original.
mistaken as a slur against Japanese people,
Yeah.
and I got slapped. Totally unfair.
New
And I was-
question.
Yeah.
New question for you. What's the worst job you ever had?
Oh, shoveling poop at the zoo.
Was your job specifically shoveling poop, or was it like that was part of your underling kind of a job?
It was like that was the main like if it was like 25% like cute animals and like feeding them and like 75% like poop shoveling, and I did not. They were like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be a junior zookeeper," which is code. Yeah, that's code for getting up at 6 a.m. and like shoveling camel poop. Yeah, for like hours, just endless.
Now, any dangerous animals?
Well, the lemurs were dangerous because they let me be with them without like they're primates, and you're not allowed to like be with primates unless like certain primates unless you have like special shots, which I did not have. So I was the first person to be with the lemurs, like to take care of them or whatever. And the week after, they were like, no one else allowed to take care of the lemurs because
Ariel's
it's
been
dangerous.
exposed. Now we have to fix the. Wait, you knew the guy who got gored?
Oh
by
yeah,
a rhinoceros?
by a rhinoceros. That's right.
There's a zookeeper who got gored by a rhinoceros.
Yep.
At the Bronx Zoo.
Yeah, and he still loves them, which is so like he like. Yeah, he was like, I love rhinoceri. I love them. Like, you know, they're beautiful creatures, but they're still wild. And yeah, just one day he like went to like hang out with his favorite rhinoceros, and like it just was mad. It was upset, and it just like you know skewered him.
Oh God.
Yeah, and then he had to have like crazy surgery, and then and then he. Still love him.
What? Yeah, he's like at the beach. He's like, you know where I got this scar?
Exactly.
You're like, I don't. No one will ever believe you.
In James and the Giant Peach, the film and the book, the backstory is that James's parents were on the beach and got eaten by a rhinoceros.
That is, yeah. I mean, they might have been at the Bronx Zoo.
I didn't know that's why he was an orphan. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
What's rhinoceros doing at the beach?
What is your like family?
What's your family fall festival tradition?
Yeah. What's your fall festival tradition?
Well, we usually gather at my aunt's house in Western Massachusetts, but that is no more. And this year, and so this year we're all separate. I guess like everyone else.
Are you gonna
we
like?
Don't really have any like other crazy traditions.
Are you gonna like Zoom check in or?
Yeah, I guess lame, but I guess you know.
Yeah. We have a Zoom call at 3 tomorrow.
Oh, I guess who else I have tomorrow at 3? Kitchi.
Well, she can be on the Zoom.
She's on the family Zoom. She'll be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey, what's up?
She might be.
Okay, who was the weirdest kid at school when you were going to school?
Okay.
Are you reading this off a list?
We love, this is great. It's off the dome.
Yeah.
Nice. Me.
You were the weirdest kid in school.
Nah.
I'm a preschooler who told the rest of my preschool class that I didn't celebrate Thanksgiving because of genocide and that I believed in Zeus. I was definitely the weirdest kid.
But there had to have been who was weird to you.
You dressed like Pippi Longstocking.
Oh, I dressed
mom
like
put wires through your hair,
in my hair
to make it
every
stick
day.
straight out.
Wires?
Yeah, so I had like hair that
like
stuck
coat
out
hangers,
like Pippi Longstocking.
so your hair would stick out. You were the weird kid.
I was the weird kid.
Yeah.
There were no kids weirder. I was like, I don't like other kids because they're annoying and boring. Like I was like, I want to hang out with adults. I don't like children. I was like, children. Have you heard of them? They suck.
Alex?
Oh, with me, the weird kid, the kid who I remember was in like fourth through 6th grade. No, just his first name. His name was Jacques. No, just Jacques. But he was I forget where his family was from, but he was like from
probably France.
No, it was an African country with like French influence. So I don't think he wasn't Algerian, but from a different African country. But so like he spoke French. And his name was Jacques. But yeah, so he was like always like, I think he just had, because this was like the 90s, right? The late 90s when I was like in school or whatever. He just had undiagnosed ADHD, or who even knows? But anyway, he would just get so like riled up, and the teacher would like that's when teachers would also bully students. They'd be like, Jacques, calm down. And so he would get so upset he would grab his desk and just shake the desk in the back of the class.
That's wild.
We had a kid named Jeremy in my school who was like had some issues, and he was in gym class.
Is this the Pearl Jam song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had this kid. He was deaf, dumb, and blind, but man, he was a whiz at that pinball machine.
Nice.
So,
Tommy?
Oh wait, his name was actually Thomas.
But Jeremy would always
Oh yeah, we should try the food. Yes.
He was in gym, and we were doing relay races, and Jeremy, bigger kid, he starts like twirling in the class down the gym, and he goes, "I don't have to do relay races because I'm a cheerleader."
That's pretty funny.
Cheers, yeah, cheers to
That's
that.
honestly, I would have laughed really
And
hard.
Mr. Franchos, the teacher, was like, "Yeah, you look like one," and then Jeremy cried. I don't know. That was like these weird little memories from childhood stick with you.
And then Mr. Franchos was fired.
20 years ago, and I haven't forgotten it.
So we're gonna try. We're gonna tell. Should we tell? Would you like to stay with us while we tell you the story of Diwali?
Yeah.
And we'll try these.
Yeah, break out the food, and then we'll while we eat, you can tell the story of Diwali.
Yes, Diwali.
By the way, if there are any Indian guests watching, or any, feel free to correct us when we butcher the story of Diwali.
Okay. Oh, this smells like. It smells like fried food. Like.
Now, do you want me to play my Diwali song?
Yeah. That's what it looks like. It looks like a neon light. That's crazy.
Oh, he's got the uke out.
All right, should we break it so we can see the cross section? Oh God.
It's greasy.
That's the cross section. All right.
It's hollow. It still looks like a gummy.
It's not. It's not.
Now the sun will come out to Wally.
Oh my God.
It's
actually good.
No, that's not a real song.
This is good. I actually am not like too mad at this. I thought it was gonna be really sweet, but it just like tastes like fried dough.
It kind of tastes like a funnel cake if it were soaked in honey.
But what's the consistency?
It's like
crunchy.
Wait here.
A little closer. Eat it closer to the mic.
You gotta get up there.
Okay, so it's not quite like a Funyun, but it's. Is it crunchy?
It's crunchy, but because it's like soaked in like a honey like thing.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like juicy, kind of. But it tastes very fried. Like I feel like there's like a lot of oil in this, but
it's like they made a really crispy funnel cake and then soaked it in honey.
Yeah, it's a hunnel.
A hunnel cake.
Hunnel. Okay, go on.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's like
okay. So tell us
what
about.
What do you think of it?
Tell us about the festival.
What do you think of it?
I mean, it's you can even see it drip a little bit with the like
like,
not quite, but like you can see the honey.
drippings in the bottom. See
that?
that?
It's moist.
I don't know if I like the word dripping.
Yeah.
The moisture? I don't know how to describe.
What is this called?
The runoff.
There's not even a label on the package, is there?
No, because I went to the Indian. I went to the Indian store, and he was like.
The Indian store.
The Indian market. That's what it's called. It's literally
called the Indian market.
Yeah, and the guy was like, take this one.
New York City is the best.
He told me this was the best box of them. There were like a lot of boxes of them.
You were like, I need some Diwali sweets.
Well, I knew that this was one of them, and I knew that I had it like when I was younger because I was obsessed with India, and I went to Little India, and like I know that my mom and I got them. I have it pulled up. It's called Jalebi.
Jalebi. Ah.
Let's hear that Diwali story.
Sweet jalebi.
Okay, so
that's a good sport. Sweet jalebi. This is delicious. Okay, what are we celebrating when we eat this?
Okay.
Jalebi.
So Diwali is like it means light, lantern, and it's basically to me it's kind of like Passover. It's like Indian Passover because of the way you celebrate it. Like you eat things that are like sweet. You light like lanterns to remind you of like when there's not overt warmth and sweetness, you can like bring it into your homes, and it's like a reminder.
It lasts 5 crazy nights.
5 crazy nights, right? And so it is about
The myth of Diwali.
Oh yes, I like. So it's associated with Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity.
Lakshmi is a babe,
Mm-hmm.
and then her husband is Sita.
Sita
No.
and no. It's the
Who's Lakshmi's husband? Basically, ends up. Rama's the bad guy, I think.
no. Rama's good.
Okay.
But it's like the slaying of this like very hideous
Evil 12-headed god.
Yeah. Because Lakshmi, like, when she went to the woods with her husband and his brother, and they had to go there for, like, 10 years because they did, I don't know, they had to go there.
We went on a quest. There's a quest.
There's a quest. They're like, come back to the village after your quest.
14-year quest.
Which I love. They're like, what if he was really good at quests? He's like, I'll be done in, like, 10, and they're like, no.
14 years.
14 years. So he went, and then, like, this like, hideous monster was like, ooh, that guy's, like...
Kidnapped his wife.
Yeah. The guy's wife was hot. And he was like, no, you don't, and he killed this creature.
But along the way, he got help from, is it Hanuman?
Yes, Hanuman, who's the monkey god!
He gets help from the monkey god, because he can't find where the evil like sorcerer has taken Lakshmi, his wife. So he like meets the monkey god Hanuman, who's like, I'm gonna send all the monkeys and bears because I have power over them, much like Aquaman, but for monkeys and bears.
Yeah, which I love monkeys.
He sends them to scour the globe, and they then find his wife like on an island or whatever, and so then he goes to the island. Oh, and then the monkeys and bears all help them build a bridge to the island, and they invade with their army and have a week-long battle, and in the end he shoots a bow with like 12 arrows at once and shoots off all 12 of the bad guys' heads.
Oh.
And I remember at the end they sang the Diwali song.
Yeah, there is a... Oh.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Elves of merry little Diwali, let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight.
Woo. Oh my god, this is like...
Have yourself a merry little Diwali, make a Yuletide gale. From now on, our troubles will be
It's your
miles
mustache.
away. Have yourself a merry little Diwali now.
Yes! That's what they sang. How did you know?
That's the traditional Diwali song.
It is.
That is a traditional Diwali song.
I found, the celebration of Rama returned to his kingdom.
Yeah, Rama's the good guy.
Rama's the good guy. Sita, his wife.
Sita's Rama's brother.
Wait, Sita's Rama's brother, and
Ravana.
Ravana.
Ravana's
It
the
sounds
bad
like
guy.
a mini-series in the making.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it basically is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, and there's 5 nights.
It's 5 nights, but yeah, you celebrate by lighting lanterns and eating sweets, and it's it's not a solstice festival, but it's like a lot of harvest festivals, and that it's sort of celebrating the end of the warm season and making your own light.
Oh yeah, so day 1 is it's the 13th day of the dark fortnight and the beginning of Diwali.
The dark
So
fortnight.
that's right. My mom, when she listens back to this, will love this. Part of the first night, you're supposed to clean your entire house.
Oh yeah,
Clean.
the workmen have to clean their like workstations and
Yeah, which
you
I
have
love.
to you have
yeah,
to
they're
clean
like
your
once a year.
you have to clean your sound booth.
Yep, gotta clean your
Not
Pokemon. And then the
Diwali
second,
just happened, I think, like this week, right?
last week I
Last
think.
week.
Yeah. The second night is Choti Diwali, and it means little hell. Wow.
They ain't sign here.
Yeah, I'm like, where's
We
that?
were supposed to be. We had a Diwali expert lined up for tonight.
So this day and its rituals are interpreted as ways to liberate any souls from their suffering or hell.
Whoa.
So it's a day to pray for peace, and to talk to your ancestors, and like, if you have statues in your home, like to like leave offerings and stuff. The third day is the height of the festival, the last day of the dark fortnight.
Yeah.
The Festival of Lights. See, I told you it's Indian Hanukkah.
The third day is when you get lit. Yeah, Indian Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Get lit.
The Festival of Lights. That's when you have a Diwali lamp, which they're like these really cute little lamps. And then the fourth day, you play a game of dice.
Wait, that's...
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
There's gambling.
Yeah.
Just like dreidel?
Yep.
Very similar to
According to
Hanukkah.
one tradition, it's associated with Bali's defeat at the hands of Vishnu. So you play a game of dice on a board of 12 squares with 30 pieces. Oh no, this was just like a thing that happened.
Okay, I don't need to know the details of the game. Just
Right.
a holiday with gambling. That's all right with me. Nice.
This day celebrates the bond between wife and husband.
Oh.
And then there also might be like some gourds that happen, like
they do ceremonial gourds.
Yeah, they love decorative gourd season.
That's my favorite McSweeney's article.
It's finally decorative gourd season.
I believe it's titled "It's Decorative Gourd Season, Motherfuckers."
Yeah.
It's just
I used to work at Crunch Gym, and they would put decorative gourds everywhere. Like, you'd be working out and you'd be like...
It's on the elliptical.
Yeah, it would be like...
Nice.
Yeah.
It
was so weird, though.
Pumpkins
it was, like,
on either
everywhere.
side of the
But they were, like,
bench
little,
press
so
bar.
it was like you would find them everywhere. Yeah. And then the last day, is about brother and sister. Okay. There you go.
Well, all right.
So we did our best.
That's all. We did our best.
That's very informative.
Yeah.
Well, now you know.
Now you know. The more you know.
This is pretty good. Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me on the program.
Jalebi.
Oh God, you can see it.
Look at that dripping jalebi. That's true. That's a wet jalebi. That's how I like it. No, it's too much.
We'll save that for later.
I kind of wish they hadn't soaked it in honey. I think it would actually be better. Like a dipping sauce.
I know what they did. They must have because it was hot. They must have I can imagine, because it's all swirled. I can imagine them throwing it in because it's how you make.
Maybe we should have eaten it fresh. I bet fresh jalebi probably pretty sweet.
I don't.
And
okay. I went to all these places.
This jalebi's like a week old.
Yeah, because it took me forever to get to Little India to get it.
I know.
It's terrible. It was amazing. It was wonderful.
Okay.
It was. I met so many people.
All right.
Well, thank you, everyone, for having me on the program.
Yeah, thank you.
As always. Thank you so much for serenading us.
For your amazing haircut, the songs, the facial, all the Pokemon, the sound booth.
Right? Yeah, and
the
let
questions
me know
too.
When you go to the new spot, I'd love to come by and
yes,
have a look.
We will.
Where are you located right now? Are you
Brown Heights?
All
Okay.
right.
You like
You're in
2
Brooklyn?
trains? Yeah, you're in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I can come over. You got my number.
Yes,
all right.
we do.
I'll let you know.
Well,
We'll
yeah.
see you soon. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Diwali. Yes.
Thanksgiving, Diwali, and Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival.
Yes, Chinese Lunar Rabbit Festival. Should we talk about that?
I think that's our last thing to cover.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it is.
I mean, we have the
my
moon
hands-
cake left. We have
My
another
hands are
piece
so
of food.
sticky. I want to.
Yeah, you gotta hold it with your fingertips. That's a key street food skill that you learn. Do you need to go wash your hands? Or you
No, I like the sound of sticky fingers.
Okay, we got about 20 minutes left in the program.
All right.
So
we'll talk about the Autumn Festival, right?
Yeah. Also known as the Moon Festival.
Well, they love moon festivals in China. Actually, they're all about moon festivals.
Oh yeah, there's
every
Lunar New
festival
Year.
is like a moon festival.
Well, so the Chinese, and I don't know why Western cultures don't do this, but they like very much like they tie the moon to like cleansing and like the cycle of life and menstrual periods.
Yeah.
And it's very much like women like worship the moon, and even in like some.
Child.
I think there's some. I don't know. I was reading that there's like in some areas of China or whatever, it's like women will worship the moon and men don't, but there's a god of like homekeeping and in the kitchen or whatever, and men will worship that god and women don't have to.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, you have to worship the thing. Yeah, I don't know, the thing that's like most personally like that.
I love that. Yes, man, clean house for Diwali in China.
But, yeah, so the story behind.
I don't know how to pronounce a lot of these names, so you can.
I do. I read up on them.
Yeah, so you can help because you speak Mandarin.
There's just 3 characters in this the story behind the Chinese Moon Festival or the Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival, and yeah, it's the
Once upon a
simple
time.
little story. Once upon a time,
there were 10 suns in the sky, and people were very hot, and they were thirsty, and they were like, "Someone, please help us."
So the god of basically like marksmanship and hunting and archery, Ho Yi.
Was he a god yet? He was just a hunter, right?
He might have been a dude. I think he was. I think everyone is a god in this story, actually.
Because they weren't immortal.
Oh, I guess they weren't at the time.
Yeah, they weren't gods.
Okay, they weren't. They were just people.
They were people. He was a great hunter.
Ho Yi was just a great hunter. He was like the greatest hunter in China, and so he, there were 10 suns rose, and everyone was like, God damn, that's too many suns. And so he shot down 9 of the suns with his arrows and left 1 in the sky. And I was like, thank you. Woo. And he was, a great archer. And he had an apprentice, as you do. He wanted to teach the next generation.
And a beautiful wife.
He did have a beautiful wife named Chang'e. And so his apprentice, he goes by either, I think it's Feng Meng or Peng Meng. It was his assistant who was jealous of him because he wasn't as good, and so they like in any archery competition, always there's like
This is his teacher. That's like,
the savant Ho Yi is like better, and Peng Meng I think is just like not quite as good, but still pretty good.
Oh, and so a goddess or an emperor is like, thank you for
they said
shooting
the gods
the suns.
Because he shot down 9 of the suns.
They gave him an elixir of immortality, but they were like, yo, there's only enough for 1 person. And he was like, I don't want to leave my beautiful wife behind.
Yeah, he's like, Chang'e is like,
she's
awesome.
amazing. Oh, and they were like, you will like float into the heavens when you take this and live forever. So he was like, yeah, I can't leave my wife. So he was like, we'll just like hide it in the house. He gave it to her. He's like, yo, just hide this in like your sock drawer. And she was like, okay. And then one day,
well, Peng Meng like knew about this because he's around.
He heard them like talking.
So he's like, yo, I'm gonna go steal that elixir, that immortality elixir. And to be fair, it's not like, I mean, like Chang'e like could have just been like, sure, just fucking like take it, we don't care. But she was like, no. And then he was like maybe gonna kill her, so she drank the elixir. Yeah. And she like floated up because it was the only way she could like get away from him or whatever. So maybe in a moment of panic, I guess. No. Yeah. So then, well, I know this. She either floated to the moon or she decided to go to the moon because it was the closest place she could like.
I think she floated to the moon.
Okay, so she floated to the moon.
I know this like vibe that she had though, because like there was one time where like it's a long time ago. Mm-hmm. I was doing drugs in a bathroom and like someone was like, oh my gosh, I'm like coming to this bathroom right now, and I didn't want them to have any drugs, so I was like I could either drop these drugs on the floor, give it to this person, or I could just take the whole thing, and I decided to take the whole thing, and I flew to the moon too. Okay.
This is the basis of the famous Dean Martin song, Flying to the Moon.
Or the RuPaul song. To the moon.
Oh, yeah.
That they play at the end of Drag Race.
I gotta play that one.
Yeah. So on the lunar festival,
Sorry, Chang'e is now the goddess of the moon.
moon. She's like the lady in the moon, and her husband would look at the moon and like see her in the moon, and he would gaze at it.
There's an alternate story where Ho Yi got there was like an evil emperor, and so he just to be an asshole banished like Ho Yi to the sun. So
That
they would
sucks.
like be
I don't
so
like
they
that
would be
story.
really far away from each other
Oh, that's
and never get
cruel.
to see each other. Except during the Lunar New Year, there's 1 week where
Oh, okay.
where the evil emperor basically eats so much he passes out for a week, and so the two of them can
Yes.
see each other,
That's cute.
which is cute. Their visitation
That's like Pan's
privileges.
Labyrinth.
But all of the Chinese lunar landers, they've now landed 4 different like rovers onto the moon, and they're all named after Chang'e.
Yeah, okay, so our like moon mission Apollo, it should be called Artemis. Because
Yeah.
Apollo is the god of the sun, Artemis is the god of the moon.
Yeah,
Goddess.
terrible name
Yeah.
for a moon project.
Yeah,
What
unless
were
you want to
they
go to the
thinking?
sun by accident, which I don't think they want to do.
Yeah.
So the activities, I love this. The activities, you moon gaze, you eat a meal with your family, you have moon cakes. So I wasn't able to get like the traditional moon cake. The one that we're gonna have is more of like a daifuku. If you know about like Asian desserts, it's more like Japanese.
I do really like that, right? American holidays are all set on either a specific calendar date, which is whenever, or they're set on like the 4th Thursday of the month of November, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, it is cool that the like moon festival is just on the full moon, like the 8th full moon since the like Chinese New Year,
Yeah.
which is cool to
Yeah.
like set a holiday by like what the moon's going to be doing, because like you're like we're gonna have good moon gazing. That's what this holiday is
Moon
about.
ga- I love that moon gazing, and
Yeah.
it's like that's so romantic, and you're like also thinking of your ancestors too, because you know, like they're immortal, I guess, in your heart. Yeah, and mooncakes, and so their mooncakes apparently like the real ones, they're like they have lotus seed paste and then like an egg yolk inside, and then like a wheat crust or whatever
It's a very
around.
sweet pastry itself, though. But yeah, it has a filling.
But they have like apparently Starbucks made them this year, and they have like crazy flavors like latte, like pumpkin spice mooncakes or whatever.
Oh, we should have grabbed some. I guess it was back in September.
No, it was in August this year, I
Oh,
think.
it was really.
Yeah.
It was really early this
It's
year.
really early. So yeah, they didn't. I went into a start. Trust me, I went.
Yeah, Canadian Thanksgiving is like the first week of October.
I knew we only had things. Where'd they go?
I told you, there's like right. The Dutch had Thanksgiving.
I know, I know.
Thanksgiving's been around.
So
but in
yeah,
Canada it's earlier because it gets
but
cold
apparently
sooner.
mooncakes you give them as gifts, and there's like, they can get super expensive, and there's like a
Yeah.
gold one with like gold and like caviar in it, and that one was like $1,000.
You can bribe Communist Party officials with really good mooncakes. Yeah.
So this
Much
one,
like, let's see it. Hold it up.
this one is not a real one. It's like a Japanese one. But it has red bean, which I know is like in them. So it's called daifuku.
So Daifuku is a similar cake, but
It's
not a
round.
mooncake.
I figured we could try it. I
Yeah.
looked for the other ones. I really did, but I couldn't
I
find
think mooncakes are a little bigger. They look almost like a bao bun. And that they're like. And
No,
then
they
have
had
the
those too,
filling
but I was
inside.
like, I'm really excited because
You're
it's gross,
Like, I
you
don't want all
know?
this bread.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, oh my god. Oh, it's so soft.
Yeah.
It feels like silicone, yeah, it feels like there's what I would imagine like a new real doll to feel like, or like a dolphin
Feels like-
skin.
It's
Like-
a dolphin skin.
No, tell me this doesn't feel like dolphin to you. It's so weird,
Oh,
It's
it's
so
it's like a
soft.
super flowery.
so soft.
cake. This one was in the freezer too, though, so I don't know that it is thawed all the way. So the middle might still.
No,
be
it
frozen.
feels squishy, and I
Maybe
don't
there's-
think
I guess there's not that much water in it. So it's okay.
I don't think that's like a chocolate
You
chip.
show
I
the
think it's a
little-
bean.
That's bean.
All right.
That's not a chocolate chip. Take a big bite.
No, I found a knife somewhere. So we could have like a clean.
Just break it open.
Oh, I know that.
It's too soft.
Okay. I'm gonna cut it.
A funny thing, by the way, about the Apollo mission is that the morning, like before they set foot on the moon during the Apollo mission,
it's squishy.
Mission Control actually mentioned Chang'e.
Oh yeah. Oh what?
And they were like, while you're on the moon today,
look inside of it. See, that's why I wanted a knife, so we can give a good, like, cross-sectional.
That's the thing. I think our Western sensibilities are like, we're just like, that should be chocolate. Like, is this a donut?
That's what it looks like. It looks like it would be like a donut or whatever, but it's not. Maybe it is. I don't know. Thoughts?
What makes you do that? That's so very. It's almost like eating Play-Doh.
Oh, I might like this.
It doesn't really have much flavor at all, though. It's not. It's like not very sweet. It's like very neutral. It's a little earthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like just very floury. Probably doesn't even have flour, right?
It's rice flour.
Probably rice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the thing. Like, it's not that.
Chill.
It's not actually that different from a bao bun, which would just maybe have meat.
Oh yeah. What if you took this out? Would it like?
Yeah, right. If the filling could be shredded chicken, and it would also be
yeah,
fine.
that's like the bun. So
and
I wonder.
It's so neutral tasting.
It's really chewy though.
Yeah, it's not a bad texture.
I like that was a good second one because the flouriness like got
It's a good palate cleanser.
Well, it cleaned my hands.
Oh good. Yeah, even the bean paste doesn't.
Do you want one of the beans that's in it? Here.
No, I don't really want any more.
Here, that's one of the beans.
I didn't enjoy it.
Does it taste like crazy?
I had a bean in my original. It did almost like nothing.
I thought it would be. Yeah, I want to make like a sculpture out of this. It's like
yeah. I just can't. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I can't see eating this thing and be like getting excited about it. I think you'd just be like, yeah. It's
okay, so all the videos that I watched about the Lunar New Year, they were all by like kids.
Yeah.
And all the kids were like, I don't really like eating mooncakes, but I'll show you the inside. And they were like, you normally share them with people. I think the real ones are like richer.
Yeah, I think they're more sugary and there's more dough to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's but I mean, having grown up on like high fructose corn syrup and like milk chocolate, I don't know that we can appreciate it. You probably need a different palate to really enjoy it.
Yeah, I want to like roll it around though. I want to like make one of those because I feel like I'd love to like play with it. Yeah,
it very much has a Play-Doh feel.
Yeah, I want to like roll it.
All right.
Yeah. So I think
that's
covered...
all our foods, and we've got. We didn't really get into Oktoberfest, but I think we got everything else. Oktoberfest is just a different Thanksgiving festival.
We didn't talk about Pocahontas, but that's what.
No, and she's not even really. She has nothing to do with Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It just is like.
It's sad.
Yeah, I don't know. Just Americans like we've romanticized so much of like the founding of like America that we merge them together, and everyone thinks that Pocahontas was at Thanksgiving or somehow related to it, but it's like that was 10 years earlier in Jamestown, and it's just an incredibly sad story.
I like went to Party City. And they had, like, the Thanksgiving, and then they had, like, the Pocahontas stuff. They, like, moved it from, like, the birthdays to, like, they moved it.
Yeah, like, it's...
Yeah,
it's just associated. Yeah, because Americans are like, yeah, Thanksgiving. Like, you know, Native Americans.
Yeah.
Pocahontas is one of them. Like, also get the Sacagawea stuff up here. Like,
oh, yeah. You know, if you have a Sacagawea coin from 2009... or like before, it has the 4 crops that the Native Americans like grow, which I think were corn, beans, and it's 2 more, and I forgot what they are.
Okay.
But if you have one of those coins, they're behind her. Yeah.
They're probably going to be.
Oh, so if you liked all of this and you want to see the Ariel version of it and the DJ version, then you have to tune in on Saturday, 9:30 to 11:30 p.m. EST. You can go on Instagram, on Twitch. It's way better on Twitch. This is better on Instagram. That's better on Twitch. They're both great.
Twitch, we got 3 camera angles. You get the high definition audio.
You get to chat with this one.
We had a pretty chill chat room tonight, but on the Twitch, it's wild.
It's wild. It's wild on Saturday.
Yeah.
It's like everything is like reversed. Like this is a lot of like.
We're gonna be doing.
We're sitting. That one we're like moving.
Fall Harvest Festivals, dynamic show, green screen background.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the moon goddess for you guys.
I'll probably play clips from Disney's Pocahontas just because it's a fun movie.
Yeah, the colors of the wood. Dude,
as
the
stupid
raccoon,
as it is, it's a fun movie. Yeah,
the raccoon is cute.
Exactly. I'll just play raccoon.
We did have someone.
Willow.
Grandmother Willow. I love her. She's great. I wish I had a tree that would like
a tree friend.
Give me advice.
Yeah, he's just like, you will die long before me.
She coughs. I love that she like coughs because she's like pollution. She's like their ships are pollution. Yeah,
I didn't really get that part.
Yeah, I'm like I think she was just smoking weed in like the woods. She was just like
smoking some ferns.
Yeah, and she kind of
So yeah, we're gonna cover Chinese Moon Festival and Diwali and
Persephone and Hades.
Oh yeah, and the Eleusinian Mysteries.
But through house music and Ariel.
through dance music and Ariel performance, yeah.
Which has never been done.
That's how we express ourselves.
Yeah,
yeah. Question block.
We got the emotional side,
through DJ sets and Ariel performances.
And then we have the other emotional.
Yeah,
side.
And talk shows where the hosts just interrupt each other constantly.
Yeah, we did really good tonight, though. I think.
I thought we did. We both told some pretty.
Did really, really good.
Had some good yarns. And we had some good guests. Thank you to our guests.
Yes.
To Barrett.
To Barrett.
And also to Dave.
And Dave as well. We're thankful. Wait, what are you thankful for?
Oh yeah, I didn't even get to that. The new Hydrogen tradition also is around the table.
What are you?
So I'm very thankful for my wonderful co-host,
Oh.
Arielist.
You're like this pumpkin.
This pumpkin. This
You're like
this delicious porter. That moon cake.
Oh, that.
Or jalebi.
Jalebi.
that.
The corn, the
questionable
new food
jalebi.
that you tried.
Oh, you're such a great cook as well.
I microwave.
And our audience, and then we get to have a fun, dumb talk show that we do, and our friends like check in and like watch it.
Yeah.
And family, like it's so nice that you guys join us.
That you enjoy this.
The research we do and then present in this very stupid, drawn out format. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I'm so glad that like I have this to like do all this research.
We're smarter than we've ever been.
Yeah, for sure. Like I saw my friend like the other week, and like I've seen him in like a couple of years, and he was like, why did you like learn like
we're real know-it-alls at this point.
Because I was like, oh yeah, I was like just casually like, oh, this reminds me of like
we have picked up so much casual knowledge after the pandemic ends. We cannot go to parties anymore. But thanks for that too.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I'm so thankful for you and for you and yeah, just for life. Like I just, life is what you make of it, and like this, I think we're making a pretty good one.
So here's to you,
Mrs. Robinson. Should we go? Should we play Harvest Moon?
Yeah, we'll play Harvest. We'll play ourselves. I'll play us out.
Should we play To the Moon? Is that gonna get us?
I don't have it queued, and that'll probably get us banned. They'll remove the whole episode.
They'll be like, remove them. So yeah, 9:30 to 11:30. Rave review. 3 acts of Ariel circus awesomeness and DJ music sets. Yeah.
Oh, we should have brought our moon.
Oh, yeah, we should. I can bring it, though. I'll bring it for rave review. You guys
we didn't actually tell them. A harvest moon, by the way, refers to when you are harvesting your corn. You get a big full moon. You get an extra night to do work to harvest your corn before it rots in the fields. So that's why Harvest Moon is important. Kind of for every culture. You grow plants, they ripen. You gotta pick that shit.
Toes. Okay, get the pump.
It should have been a squat.
Okay, you know what?
It's been a decorative gourd, really. What is it, a spot?
Love you guys.
This is too Halloween-ish.
Happy whatever you celebrate.
Happy Diwali, Moon Festival.
Or just you.
Canadian
Happy
Thanksgiving,
you.
American Thanksgiving.
Happy New Year. Yeah, and we'll be back next week. Here, like with this kind of
We'll be
vibe.
back in Question Black, but we'll see y'all Saturday.
Yeah.